Labs sponsoring the promotion of today's webinar. For those of you who are not familiar with our company, I'd like to introduce us and our programs, which are mostly free. I hope these programs that I'm about to introduce help you to engage with Korean AI professionals. So our company, Modul Labs, has grown based on an AI research community and now also provides education. Our mission is to share value and grow together, as our company has grown upon sharing AI knowledge and when there were barely any boot camps in Korea. So we value the culture of knowledge sharing and encouraging each other, like today's seminar, rather than competing. Based on this culture for over 10 years, our research platform has fostered. There were over 1,000 projects and study groups. This enormous number reflects the passion and dedication of our members, and over 100 papers were accepted, demonstrating the high quality research that is produced through our company's community's effort. We're very proud to collaborate with major institutions and leading technology companies who share our vision, like NVIDIA or Kakao Impact, Neighbor Cloud Platform, and Asia, who is hosting today's seminar. I'd like to introduce some of our programs that you can engage with after this seminar. And one of our programs is Lab System, actively supporting research projects by providing essential resources like the venue and matching a corresponding author if you are interested in writing papers with your research colleagues. And crucially, we provide access to high-performance GPU resources available through an application process if you become one of our members. Our annual highlight is ModuCon, which is the conference of our company. It's taking place on December 13th at ECC in Ewha Women's University. The theme of this year is From AI to Infinity, reflecting the boundless potential of technology. It runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., featuring the keynote speaker of Jung-Suk No and Sunil Kim, the CEO of our company. Beyond research, we also provide structured learning pathways as well, such as the upcoming seminar, Building a Digital Twin for Physical AI, scheduled for this Saturday, and AI School IFL, which we offer a curriculum that progresses from beginner to research level. You can get updated about us on our LinkedIn group. You can scan the QR code if you want to stay updated and get to know about us and engage with us as well. So thank you. This is the end of introduction of our company. And okay, over to you, Jocelyn.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Tae. Next, we have Melissa. She is the communication lead at AI Safety Asia, who share a bit more about the organization and its mission. The floor is yours, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Seoul Roundtable, which is part of AI Safety Asia's East Asia Roundtable series. So before we start, I wanted to give everyone a brief introduction of who we are as AI Safety Asia, what we do, and some of the events that we have held over the past year. So our mission is to build Asia as a globally leading, responsible, and safe AI innovator. And we are a global nonprofit dedicated to building Asia in this regard. And we aim to bridge the global north-south gaps through AI safety and governance ecosystem building, policy influence and research, governance capacity building, and facilitating multi-stakeholder dialogue. And at the core of our mission is the integrated and diverse and collaborative nature of our work, as we can see from our Roundtable series, where we collaborate with multiple partners on the ground. And we are dedicated to building an inclusive AI governance ecosystem in Asia through training local talents, tailoring frameworks to market contexts, conducting actionable policy research, and convening dialogues with diverse stakeholders. And through building this ecosystem, we strengthen South-South collaborations and bridge knowledge gaps between the North and the South. And we believe that through achieving safe and governed AI begins with building bridges between generations, disciplines, and regions through actionable steps through our three interrelated pillars. So we have three main pillars to our work. We have convening of critical stakeholders for urgent discussions, including these Roundtable series. We do research to generate actionable policy-oriented research and strategic insights on regional AI policy for governments in the region. And we conduct training programs for senior policymakers and civil society leaders in Asia with AI safety and governance knowledge to incubate junior policy researchers and also senior ones. And our impact is robust. We have delivered robust research. We have empowered communities and government entities through capacity building, and we have been trying to convene a high-impact network through our partners. And our signature series is the AI Safety Roundtable series, which you are part of right now, which focuses on regional opportunities, challenges, and strategies for AI safety governance. And each roundtable will include experts from top institutions as well as local stakeholders. And just an example of the events that we have held throughout the year. For example, last year we had a collaboration with Asia Society France to have a pre-summit event at the AI Action Summit in Paris. And we were very honored to have the Secretary of the Ministry of Electronics of the Government of India, as well as representatives from Japan, Future Society, from China, as well as, of course, our co-founder, Lian, as part of the event. And we have also recently published a report with the Brookings Institute, where it combines the insights from our last AI Safety Roundtable series focused on Southeast Asia to outline recent AI governance developments in Southeast Asia countries. And we also held a roundtable series on the report to share the insights to audience around the world. And in terms of capacity training, we had training for the Ministry of Communication and Digital Affairs of Indonesia, and it was held earlier this year with the purpose of creating impact on the AI policy landscape in the nation. And we're very pleased to have received endorsement from the ministry. And this is a program that we will intend to roll out on a larger scale. And just a little bit more about our virtual panel series, which we call AI Assembly. We will, as I mentioned, we'll collaborate with a local organization as well as a series of partners. And we have already successfully held a roundtable in Beijing, as well as for Tokyo. So I'm very pleased that we're having our Seoul Roundtable today. And I'm looking forward to this very insightful discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the intro, Melissa. And now I'd like to introduce our distinguished panelists tonight. Melissa, can you please turn to the page where Professor Yong Lim appears? Yes, thank you. Yes, so first of all, I'd like to extend my big gratitude to all our distinguished panelists who's joining us tonight. So first of all, we have Professor Yong Lim from the Seoul National University School of Law, who also serves as the director of the SNU AI Policy Initiative. Professor Lim received his SJD from Harvard, and before entering academia, he gained extensive experience in competition and antitrust law while practicing in Kim and Chang. He currently serves on the board at both the Korean AI Law Association and the Korean Competition Law Association, contributing significantly to Korea's evolving AI regulatory landscape. Next, can you turn to Dr. Sang Gi-han's page, please? Yes, thank you. And next, we are joined by Dr. Sang Gi-han, the CEO of Tech Frontier, a strategy and foresight firm dedicated to advancing Korea's preparedness for the age of AI. Dr. Han has written extensively on AI, including co-authoring the influential book AI War with Chung Woo-ha, who now serves as South Korea's presidential secretary for AI. Before founding Tech Frontier, Dr. Han held senior leadership roles at major Korean technology corporations, including Tom, now Kakao, and Samsung. And over the past decade, he's become one of the Korea's most respected commentators on AI governance, digital competitiveness, and innovation policy. Next, we have David Sang-Yun Yu. He is the CEO and co-founder of AIM Intelligence, Korea's first and the only startup right now specializing in AI security, which is highly sought after by Korean corporations, including major financial institutions, telecommunication firms, and government agencies. And AIM Intelligence innovations have received global recognition as well, winning the 2024 Meta Llama Impact Innovation Award. We got quite a few of Seoul National University alums tonight. David is also a alumnus of Seoul National University with a background in electrical and computer engineering. And next, we got Dr. Hyung-gil Shin. He is the senior researcher at the Korea Institute of Toxicology and assistant professor at the University of Science and Technology. Dr. Shin's research focuses on predictive toxicology and the application of machine learning to chemical safety. He's published widely in computational toxicology and is increasingly recognized as an emerging voice at the intersection of AI and biosafety in South Korea. And last but not least, I am the moderator, Jocelyn Rudal-Lee. I'm the founder and director of AI Safety Lab here in Seoul. Currently, we're conducting regional research on low-resource languages and AI, alongside multi-country capacity building programs on AI governance. As a lawyer by training, my background spans across both the public and private sectors, from advising global tech companies like Kraken on blockchain, policy and regulation, to serving with international institutions like the World Bank and the New Zealand Ministry of Justice. It's truly a pleasure to moderate tonight's session. Okay, so Melissa, if you could, sorry, I don't have the control of the pages, so yeah, I'll have to rely on Melissa for moving the pages. So if we can turn to question 1, and let's move on to the panel questions. So the first question is addressed to Professor Lim and Dr. Han. I'm not sure if you could, I think the screen cut the questions a little bit, but yeah, we'll just proceed. So the question is, in the international discourse on AI governance, what do you see as Korea's key strengths and what areas still require improvement? Professor Lim, as director of the SNU AI policy initiatives, you've been leading numerous efforts to convene global experts alongside Korea's top scholars in AI regulation and policy. And Dr. Han, you've authored several influential books, including bestsellers, analyzing Korea's competitiveness in the age of AI. So we would really appreciate hearing both of your perspectives on this. Why don't we begin with Professor Yong-Lim first?
Sure. Jocelyn, first of all, I'd like to thank you and the organizers for inviting me to the roundtable today. So regarding some of Korea's strengths, I think one of the well-recognized strength is Korea's broad participation in the AI value chain, or the tech stack, as you can say it. So a comparative advantage that Korea has is it has a very broad-based sort of AI capability on which it can now build a comprehensive and well thought out governance systems. So it has players up and down the AI tech stack, all the way from the chips and infrastructure layer up through the application layer. It also has a lot of digitized information, particularly in local language. So it does have data. And it also has all of the above type of capacity in terms of energy generation, including nuclear energy. So this sort of broad-based participation in the value chain is definitely a strength that Korea has. I think another less recognized strength is Korea's positive public attitude when it comes to AI engagement. Now, in a recent Pew survey, which came out, I think, in October, about how people around the world view AI, they really showed this particularly well, because Korea ranked #1 in terms of the share of people that are equally or more excited than concerned about the rise of AI in daily life. So it had nearly 88% of respondents saying that they were equally or more excited. Now, another notable data point was a majority of those surveyed also had trust in the country's ability to regulate the use of AI effectively. So I believe this positive attitude, at this time at least, will help sustain the Korean government's push to invest resources in building out the country's AI industrial base and support related industrial policy. Now, this positive attitude may also give some breathing room for regulators to build out a well-rounded governance system that balances safety and innovation. So I think that's one strength that is less recognized. Another, I think, strength from the perspective of regulation, where I come from, is Korea's substantial, I would say, prior investment in tech governance tools and mechanisms. And I would like to point out an example where, if you think about the COVID pandemic a couple of years ago, Korea was viewed as one of the nations that had a better dealing with the pandemic. We avoided a complete shutdown, and we had many, we were ready to sort of deal with the pandemic. The country had the requisite legislation put in place, technology systems built for the government to spring into action. And the public was also quite responsive to government prerogatives. And what really had happened was that Korea had in fact benefited from its experience in dealing with the MERS outbreak a few years prior. And so the infrastructure had been put in place. And I think you could say the same about the current flurry of legislative and regulatory action. Now, there are many who are concerned about Korea taking a perhaps too interventionist stance when it comes to AI governance. I share many of those concerns, but if you think about it in a positive light, much of the legislation right now, or it's not only about the AI Framework Act, it's the entire digital governance laws and all that are being amended or enacted. I think it will provide a base on which the government can act down the road. And it's not entirely interventionist. If you look at some of the sub-regulations or guidance that's coming out from the AI Framework Act as we are preparing to enforce it next year, it shows there is definitely a more pragmatic approach or bent or concern that definitely we do not want to stifle innovation. So I think this prior investment will yield, of course it will have costs, but it will yield dividends down the road. Now, if you're asking about areas for improvement, there are so many that it's difficult to point out just a few, but I believe two challenges loom particularly large. The first is data governance. Now, Korea at this time has yet to figure out how to ensure the two pillars of data governance. One is ensuring that we are utilizing the data in a very beneficial and very efficient, effective way. So the use of data, and the other pillar is to make sure that in that use, we are protecting the economic, human rights, privacy, copyright, et cetera, of those involved and the stakeholders. And so this balancing will be particularly challenging going ahead. I think Korea still has to figure out, or is in the progress of figuring out what we want to do, or how we want to strike the balance. Another large challenge will be coordinating between different government bodies and regulatory authorities. And the reason for this is AI touches all aspects of the economy and society due to its nature as a general purpose technology. So this means that regulatory responsibilities will inevitably have to be shared and coordinated to avoid costly overlapping regulation, and also to avoid unintended holes in governance. And so this will entail sorting out by politicians, society and decision makers about which priorities, social and legislative priorities, we want to really pursue. It will require trade-offs that may be politically sensitive and even painful. And so I think this will be a very big challenge. And Korea is now beginning to see some of those challenges rise. So I put two main challenges for you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that insightful landscape you shared, Dr. Yong Lim. I really like how you pointed out the public's positive attitude as one of the key strengths of Korea. And now, Dr. Han, I'm curious about your thoughts on the strength and improvement that Korea need to push.
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me. And as Professor Lim explained a little bit long, so I'll make it myself very quickly. And well, Korea has been Korea has shown the good leadership in AI governance in the past also. Well, in 2019, OECD tried to publish the AI ethics guideline. At the time, Korea was the chairing the preparation of the document, and at the time I was the external advisor also. And last year we held the Seoul AI Summit also. That is the second the summit after the UK's the AI Safety Summit. You know, this year we saw the similar the event in Paris too. You know. So I think we already showed our leadership in AI governance, and actually after the new government, we held the APEC, or what can I say here, convention or the conference or something like that, and we announced the AI initiative, APEC AI initiative. It is the first AI initiative for the APEC countries. And also we announced that we're going to build the Asia Pacific AI Center in Korea. That was the remarkable success in ensuring the AI governance. So I don't worry about the AI governance, but as you asked some, there going to be some kind of the improvement. I discussed with the many Korean government people and the some members of National Council of AI strategy. You know that we have to develop our capability to work with the global South countries. We are working. The Korea is good in working with the advanced countries and including the Western countries, but we did not have enough. We don't have enough the capability or ability to work with the global South countries. So we need to develop a new strategy to collaborate with the people in South America or the Asian or African countries. So that is the remaining thing that we have to develop. That's my the personal the agenda to develop with the my friends in the government. Well, maybe that's enough by myself.
All right. Yeah, your comment on the importance of improving Korea's capacity in working with the global South, I think, is very critical, especially given that the discussion that we're having is also part of the global Southeast Asia and global Northeast Asia's Roundtable series. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the other Southeast Asian countries are also very concerned about the point that you have rightly pointed out. And yeah, so I think both your comments offered a very balanced picture of where Korea stands today and where it still needs to push forward. And let's move ahead to the next question. So question 2, this question is addressed to David, you, Professor Lim, and Dr. Han. So the question is, as frontier AI companies increasingly dominate global platforms, how should countries that do not possess their own frontier models, especially in Asia, develop strategic responses? I think this question is quite rightly correlated to the comment that Dr. Han just rightly pointed out. So David, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that the market you're targeting is very much global, with AIM Intelligence not just limiting itself to Korea, but positioning itself to serve the international clients. So I'm particularly curious to hear your perspective on this question. And after David shares his thoughts, we'll go to Dr. Han and then Professor Lim this time. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, thanks, Jocelyn and the organizations for having this wonderful event. So what I think is like, of course, it would be ideal for Asia to build a competitive foundation model of our own. But one view is that it is impossible right now. And so the important question becomes like, what can we do instead? So my view is that we should focus on building the validation and auditing layers to ensure that the foundation models from global companies operate safely and appropriately within our domestic regulation and culture context. Because like ultimately the culture and language that AI systems use today will become our culture and language 10 years from now. If we don't shape that layer of alignment right now, we will simply inherit values and behaviors that are designed by outside of our region. So since even though we don't build our own foundation models, through evaluation standards and safety audits, compliance frameworks within our region, we can pressure and guide global model providers to meet our regional standards, and so they can compete each other on that, and then automatically trustworthy and alignment within our society will rise from that competition. That was like a pessimistic view. One optimistic view is that actually we can build a foundation model that is competitive in the global market. Since like we can see nowadays like that like foundation AI models are becoming actually a commodity, and Asian countries, especially in the China, like they are building open source models that are competitive with SOTA models right now. So since like then, when AI becomes like a commodity, on top of that, AI safety and security would be also important like that. So our role in Asia, I think, is that to ensure those systems, those foundation models, even they come from the Western or like they come from the Asia inherently, we should assure that these systems can operate safely and transparently and reliably within our region uh, and within our region's standard. So that's like that could be done by a regulation, but instead of a regulation, I think the people that are using it has to think more about it and then like choose which models that are actually not only good for the benchmarks and like, the performance, but also good in the safety context and reliable in that culture's context also. So yeah, that is what I think Asia, especially Asia, but the regions that are outside of US should approach like AIs right now and AI, especially AI safety. Thank you.
Thank you. I think your point is also related to the question of AI sovereignty, and I think it's really exciting to hear someone like you, who is also the co-founder of AIM Intelligence, to talk about issues such as AI sovereignty. And now I'll take the floor to Dr. Han.
Yeah. Well, this is a very subtle question. But most of the middle-powered countries are doing something something to develop a sovereign AI models by themselves. That's natural, and also every country should take the two-track strategy directions. One is to align with the American companies or the United States technology stack, and the other is their own sovereign AI model. Well, Korea put the more stress on the sovereign AI model. We're going to develop our model by ourselves, and we saw the result already. We announced the LG, the AXA1 by LG AI Lab, and the other one is Solar Pro 2 by Upstage. They entered in the list of the 20 something strong AI model, and also if you read the Microsoft reported the AXA1 was ranked as the world third level AI model. So probably next year we can see one or two models which will be listed on the top 10 AI model. But the other countries, like similarly, Singapore, they are developing their own model called Sea Lion, and UAE is developing the Falcon model. So they're gonna develop the sovereign AI model by themselves, and some other countries like Taiwan they develop a vertical AI model for their special purpose, like the semiconductor world, the manufacturing, and some other industry area. I think that's natural. So every country will do the dual track or two track the strategy. One is to develop a sovereign AI model to reflect their own culture and the social norms or the language itself. And also, they want to develop the most advanced model, which which requires the technology from the United States or sometimes from China. So every middle power country should take the two-track strategy directions.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your dual track strategy suggestion. And lastly, I'll open the floor to Professor Yong Lim.
So I would like to echo what Mr. Yu and Dr. Han just mentioned, and maybe add a bit more color. So what Korea is doing right now, as Dr. Han pointed out, there's a concerted effort to develop or support Korean foundation models. So you have that push there. But that's not the only development activity going on in the market. So you have also major players in the technology sphere partnering up with leading global platforms. So we have a mix of foundation model approaches. You have the local flavors, but you also have global partnerships, and we also, a lot of Koreans use ChatGPT and Gemini, and so it's sort of an all-around approach, and I think that is likely going to be the predominant approach that you'll see in Asia, because inevitably, I mean, every country definitely will try to develop its own foundation model, I suppose, but at the end of the day, it will be very difficult just to rely on those models. Same for Korea. Now, if you look at how Korean companies are partnering with these global platforms, it's really with the data. And so I'd like to go back to what Mr. Yu was saying. So data, if you think about it, local data in particular, it's just that resource that's right there. It's an endowed resource that's being continuously replenished by your population. Now it's just not only text, but now it's going to be visual data, bio data. So it's really, it's there to mine. Now, what each government has to really think about is what and how are they going to invest related to this data. So not only mining, but utilization, at what layer, in what sector. So I think it would be good for Asian governments to be strategic in how they approach this data. And because many Asian nations, I think, will have to, at least in some aspect, partner with these global platforms, as Mr. Yu again pointed out, you would have to also be mindful of legislation, self-regulation, standards, etc., that would ensure that the data is being mined and used by both local and global participants in line with the objectives or prerogatives of each nation. So again, data will be probably the real strategic asset here. And again, it would be good for Asian countries to really, you can't create the entire AI tech stack. Even for Korea, that's impossible. You'll have to focus, choose, and really then invest and drill down on particular aspects or layers of what you want to do. And so that, again, you have to be very strategic.
Thank you. That was
just a minute.
yes.
Let me add something. Well, we are discussing the so-called large language model (LLM) currently, but the real battle will be done in the physical AI area. So OpenAI or Anthropic opened their office for the first time in Korea recently, and NVIDIA approached us, and they're gonna provide the 260,000 the Blackwell grade chips to Korea. The companies, not just the government, the Samsung, Hyundai, automobile, and also SK Telecom. So if the Asian countries have some the strength in specific area, that's gonna be a good opportunity to work with the American companies to develop the physical AI or the world foundation model. The next step will be the competition among the countries or the companies related to world foundation model, including humanoid. The application will be humanoid or some other autonomous vehicles and other things, autonomous something, whatever. So I think we have to think more thoroughly about the next frontiers, not just the LLM area, the layers. That will be the next strategic point for countries, and also, well, as for Korea, we have one of a few countries. We are one of the few countries who has the full stack area, AI full stack. When the director of OSTP in United States, the Michael Crutcher, visited Korea, he mentioned that the Korea will be maybe only country beside the United States and China to provide the AI full stack. And also the Sam Altman visited Korea. He also mentioned that our capability. And so if you have some kind of the major components of AI full stack, there can be a good opportunity for the Asian countries. So they're going to work with us. They're going to work with the other countries, not just pushing their own AI full stack, but also make it more what can I say, perfect or something, whatever. And they need more partnership from other countries. I mean, the United States and also China. They want to work with the other countries to make it happen for the physical AI or some vertical areas. So if some Asian countries have strength in a specific area in a vertical field or the AI stack, that will be a good chance for the Asian countries.
Yeah, thank you. That was incredibly insightful. What we heard is that Asia's strength may not lie in just replicating frontier platforms, but in shaping standards, value alignment, taking ownership of its own multimodal data, and even the ownership of physical hardwares or in vertical fields. A lot to think about. Now we'll move to our next topic, which is question 3. Question 3 is addressed to Dr. Shin, and the question is, as the focus shifts away from open source models and towards securing high quality data across industries, and we've just talked about the issue of ownership of data, what challenges or limitations are you seeing in the biotechnology sector? We'd love to hear more of your insights on this. Dr. Shin, please go ahead.
Okay. First of all, thanks for having me in this roundtable meeting. And since I've been working on building model for drug design, I felt like I'm a little bit away from the mainstream of AI these days, but still I think the works going on in a bio field for AI can be one of example how AI can innovate each industry. So one of the major problem here is having data. Generating data is much expensive than preparing language data, because for drug design, each compound, testing each compound is quite expensive. So each data point is quite important asset for the company who tested a molecule. So most of industries don't really want to share data set at all. And I'm not sure it's same for all the field, but in particularly for drug development, um, the company never shared data set, even for the internal members. So they often work first with the public data set, and then if their model is working well, then later company tested the model for the internal data set without sharing the data set to the researcher. So yeah, it's getting quite serious. And when the company sees that data can make money, they I don't think they're gonna really share data set further, except for some cases. I think only exception is coming from Japan. Um, this is not really accurate information, but I was told from in conference that Japanese governments give tax benefit if Japanese pharmaceutical company share the data set tested on the neglected tropical disease. Neglected tropical disease are the diseases prevalent in developing country, like malaria or something. So because of that incentive, Japanese pharmaceutical companies share their data set tested on neglected tropical disease. So I think that's the one good example that there is not really access barrier. So yeah, most of data are not accessible, but for like a case of tropical disease medicine, some cases the data is available for it's open for everybody. So yeah,
Okay.
mostly data is really rare.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shin. I think your perspective really illustrates that as AI advances, taking ownership of data is really the true bottleneck in biotech. I'm pretty sure it not just applies to biotech, but applies to a wide range of other fields. I'm a little bit conscious about the time, so I'll try to push things a bit faster now. So we'll now move on to the next part of the discussion. And this question is addressed to both David and Dr. Shin. So it's got two parts. So, oh, sorry, it's the next slide, Melissa. Yes, that one, thank you. So both of you began your careers in academic research in your perspective, in your respective fields, but then you took very different paths. So David, you have moved into industry and is now commercializing AI security solutions, while Dr. Shin continues to conduct highly practical and applied research in biotechnology. So with that in mind, I'd like to explore how each of you views the gap between research and real-world application. And the first part is addressed to David. So you founded one of Korea's only startup specializing in AI security for now, which is very impressive and unique. What motivated you to pursue this field, and how do you perceive the gap between academic research and real-world practice in AI security? Thank you.
Thanks for the question. So, people ask why I chose this direction, especially nowadays the AI safety and security is more talked often, but like just a year ago, or 2 years ago, it wasn't that often. So the reason that I chose this area is that when first GPT appeared about 2022, most people were talking about a future of the movie Her. So hype highly capable, also like emotionally intelligent AI companions, assistants, and agents that do work for you. But like the conversation was mostly about like capability, what's the performance, like how to decrease the hallucination rates, like how to improve the language performance. But even then, like I thought that like if AI systems were really going to reach that kind of autonomy in the movie Her, I think safety and security would become the most important factor of and most important bottleneck of that kind of mass adoption. So uh, since like I was a graduate student, I was looking for research topics and like I was talking with several people that are doing research in the LM space, but found out that not many people were doing AI safety. So I thought that like I should actually start a startup and run my own startup to actually contribute to this AI safety field. So that's why I came into this journey. And what I felt after working for this company more than a year right now is that like AI safety is very siloed. So uh, all the different domains have different needs. Like for instance, frontier model companies, they focus on like CBRNE, which is like chemical, biological, like those kind of weapons that are highly like exploitable by parties outside used and can be used in terrorism. Like Asian companies are obsessed with like prompt injection robustness. Korean foundation model companies worry about like Korean specific safety issues. Traditional enterprise focus more on their company policies rather than like general safety. Healthcare organizations focus heavily on like harmful or misleading medical advice. So all these companies are actually our customers or like were our customers before. So I have met like different needs from different parties. So what I felt is like there is no one solution that can fit all. Actually, ASAP is more contextual, like domain specific, region specific, and shaped by each organization or like AI model providers' needs. So I think that is the difference between like, academia and actual practice. Academia tries to find a universal solution for AI safety mostly, but in practice, like AI safety is a highly like needs to be highly customizable. So uh, what I feel is like as as a AI security company, we try to build more and more customizable solution rather than a general solution, so that the experts in each domain and fields can actually apply their policies and worries inside our tool, so that they can do AI security and safety as they want. And one more thing that I want to address is like AI security is and safety is very siloed right now, especially in Korea, I think, because we work with various companies, and all those companies actually have AI governance teams and policies within their company, but they actually try to hide their policies because they think it's an intellectual property and don't share with their competitors or outside of their company. But since like AI safety, uh, I think even though it's very customizable and different domain by domain and company by company, I think more companies have to share what they think and worked on for the AI safety and policies, so that they try to uh, fill the gap if they miss something. But right now they are like giving us their policies and want us to check their model based on their policies, but they uh, want us to, they really like tell us not to share that policy with other companies. So I think that is one thing that we should change. We should more share about what we do in this field and try to avoid the siloed AI safety, uh, re- uh, AI safety uh, status right now that is really siloed in Korea. So that's what I felt a lot while actually practicing AI safety and security in this field.
Thank you. Thank you for your incredibly interesting and firsthand experience. That's something very important to be noted. And Dr. Shin, now I'm going to open the floor to you to ask you to answer the second part of the question, which is, how do you view the gap between expectations and actual capabilities in the convergence of AI and biotech?
Yeah, I think the expectation is quite high because of the success of LLMs. But in my opinion, in biotechnology, AI models are really poor. Because when people think about success case of AI model, people want that AI model really solve the problem. But in case of drug design, no model so far have designed drugs acceptable. And so because of that, there's not really, yeah, I think, yeah, there's a hype going, oh yeah, there's a ups and downs. And I think now we're in the up stage, but mostly before, yeah, when I was doing my PhD, people really didn't expect much from model. Although at the time AI wasn't really the keyword, but still machine learning models were used, but no one really trusted. And I think still there's a huge gap. And yeah, the problem is that what people expect is that AI model does all the work for researchers, but that didn't really happen yet. And also, mainly, I think data and the number of people working on the field are not enough. So yeah, I think there should be a lot of work to be done. And because of that, I open YouTube channel to provide education sessions for students. But yeah, I think it will take some time to catch up that gap.
Right. Thank you for that honest answer. That really gives us a reality check on the gap between the AI expectation and the reality of biotechnology development. Okay, we will move to the last question, which is about the impact of Korea's AI Act, AI Basic Act. And this final question is addressed to Professor Young Lim, Dr. Han, and David. So the question is, with Korea's AI Basic Act taking effect in January 2026, which is next year, what kind of turning points do you foresee for Korean society from both legal and industry perspectives? So yeah, let's begin with Professor Lim.
Sure. So I'll be very brief here. What I'd like to stress is that this is a work in progress. So you have the act; it's coming into effect in January. It is in a sense, a pivotal point, but in fact, it's one step on the way instead of a decisive breaking point. So many of the details of what's going to happen in terms of actual AI governance still being debated as we speak. The regulations now are, again, coming out. Guidelines are coming out. But the legislation, in fact, is broad enough to accommodate multiple routes or multiple ways to approach and achieve the legislative goals. So again, there's no silver bullet to trustworthy innovation in AI. And so I would like to stress that, which route Korea is going to actually take is not etched in stone, but rather we are going to have to accommodate, again, we might be talking about a new, different AI. Dr. Han was talking about agentic physical AI. Who knows when world models hit the industry, what's going to happen? So I think we have to be humble in that sense. So again, it will be important. It will be pivotal in a sense, but it will be a work in progress.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that thoughtful note. And I'll pass the floor to you, Dr. Han.
Well, I'm not the person in law, so this is my personal the opinion on the AI Basic Act. Personally, I think that this act was designed poorly. Well, we introduced a new concept called the AI impact or influence or something. Well, in Europe, they call it the AI risk. Risk is sometimes we can define the risk based on the some failure or the impact on the personal life or some dangerous things. But impact or influence cannot be defined accurately, I think. And also the atmosphere is being changed. The even in Europe, they may postpone the application of their own act the full time being. So in Korea, political bodies are discussing the postpone the application of the AI basic law, basic act. So I'm not quite sure that we will have the concrete the application of this act from January next year, or we may discuss several things on the definition of the terminology and how can we determine the degree of influence or impact, and also the remaining things that I think there are many things to be discussed thoroughly. So I'm not quite optimistic or positive in this. I mean, the beginning of this act next year. We may postpone the application. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you for that honest opinion. I think that is very important. And last but not least, David, your thoughts on the Korea's AI Basic Act, especially maybe on your business directions or the implication on your business as a startup?
Yeah, so as a startup in this field, the AI Basic Act is, to be honest, very good because like it becomes a reason for enterprises to actually concern more about AI safety and security. So more enterprises will find their way to actually ensure the safety of their systems, and then like that will lead to our company. So as a startup and a business in this area, it is good. And also, I think the way the AI Basic Act is going is actually promising, not even considering the impact to our startup. The reason is that the government's approach to many people are worrying about that AI Basic Act might be too regulatory, might be too might hinder the uh, evolution of AI in Korea. But actually, I think the AI Basic Act is not becoming like a enforcing kind of law. It's more kind of going in a way of a guidance and recommendatory structure. We can see that in the finance field actually in Korea. So in the finance domain, there is already a regulation, a guidance of how AI system should be in this finance domain, and there are regulatory institutions that come to the financial enterprises and check if those kind of compliances is met. But a there is some, but there is very low rate of companies that are rejected because of that law. Most companies are actually improving, trying to meet those compliances, and then it, even though it's not perfect, if the companies and enterprises try to meet those compliances and improve AI safety, then those kind of regulatory institutions give a pass to those kind of AI systems. So I think the AI Basic Act would go in a similar way. Instead of like enforcing and stopping AI systems to go into production, it will go in a way of like actually guiding and recommendation of how companies should actually do AI, build AI systems. So uh, what I wish is like as yeah, what I think is that AI Basic Act would go in that direction. And actual guidance that we have to focus on should be on each domain. So, as I mentioned, there is a already a guidance in the finance sector. There are guidances that are trying to be made in that healthcare sector also. So, the AI Basic Act would be actually very vague in general. So, each domains in in the industry should make their own guidance and standards referring to the AI Basic Act, but actually meet the current state of their domains AI systems right now. So, yeah, I think like the experts in each domains and the industry should uh, more make more voice on how the guidances should be made so that the guidances and regulations for each domains does not hinder uh, the AI from being adopted, but more helping the AI to be adopted in a safer way. So yeah, that's my view on AI Basic Act in Korea.
Thank you. Thank you all of you for your very nuanced and different perspectives on the potential of the upcoming act. And I think that marks the official ending of the panel session. I'd like to thank all of our distinguished panelists. It was such an incredibly rich discussion. Given the time constraint, we'll probably just take two questions from the audience. And as I said earlier, given the large amount of Korean audience who are joining us tonight, we'll probably proceed the Q&A sessions in Korean if that's okay. 지금까지 정말 깊이 있고 굉장히 다양한 의견을 주신 저희 패널리스트 분들께 너무 감사의 인사를 드리고요. 그럼 이제 질의응답 시간을 할 건데 시간이 많이 경과돼서 오늘 오신 분들 중에서 질문 2개만 받도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 한국 분들이 많이 오셔서 또 근데 영어로 하시는 것도 양해해 주셨고 하셔서 한국어로 퀘스천 질의응답을 할 건데요. 질문이 있으시면 자유롭게 여기 챗에다가 남겨주시면 감사하겠습니다. 일단 제가 사전 질문을 몇 개 받긴 했는데요. 그중에서 일단 하나를 제가 먼저 여기 계시는 패널 분들에게 던지겠습니다. 여기 제가 챗에다가도 적어 드릴게요. 질문이 향후 5에서 10년 동안 동아시아 국가들이 글로벌 AI 거버넌스에서 어떤 역할을 하게 될 것이라고 전망하시는지요? 혹시 답변하시길 원하시는 패널 분들이 있으신가요? 자원. 한상기 대표님?
한국말로 해도 돼요?
네네네. Q&A 세션은 한국말로 하기로 했습니다.
여기 동아시아 국가라 그러면 한중일을 얘기하는 거죠?
네.
다른 지역보다도 한중일의 글로벌 AI 거버넌스 역할은 서로 굉장히 경쟁적이 될 것 같아요. 일본은 이번에도 에이펙에서 중국도 굉장히 우리를 견제했고 일본도 우리를 견제했거든요. 왜냐하면 일본은 OECD에서 히로시마 선언한 다음에 G7에서 G7을 통해 가지고 리더십을 가지려고 그러고 있고 중국은 유엔을 통해 가지고 리더십을 가지고 가려고 하고 있어요. 근데 이제 우리가 지난번 유엔 총회 때 대통령이 AI 기본 사회 그리고 모두를 위한 AI 이니셔티브를 이제 제안을 하고 있기 때문에 중국은 전체를 자기네 오픈 소스 커뮤니티 통해 가지고 장악을 하려고 하는 걸 갖고 있고 일본은 미국과 굉장히 얼라이언스 하면서 자기 나름대로 G7이라는 위치를 통해 가지고 리더십을 놓치지 않으려고 하고 있거든요. 한국에 비해서 뒤지고 싶지 않다는 생각을 갖고 있기 때문에 세 나라가 협력을 하는 모델을 찾아내기가 되게 어려울 것 같아요. 우리가 캐나다나 유럽의 국가들 또는 싱가포르랑 협력하는 건 가능해도 일본과 중국과 협력하기도 되게 어려울 것 같아요. 그래서 세 나라가 각자의 방향을 갖고선 자기네들이 리더십을 가져가겠다라고 할 거기 때문에 근데 이제 5년, 10년 굉장히 롱텀을 AI에서는 뭐 5년, 10년이면 뭐 이거는 한 세대를 넘어서는 그 기간이기 때문에 어떻게 될지 모르겠지만 당분간 2, 3년 동안은 세 나라의 협력이 하나로 뭉쳐지기도 되게 어려울 것 같다는 생각이 듭니다. 5년에서 10년은 잘 모르겠어요.
감사합니다. 혹시 그 임용 교수님 뭐 더 첨언하실 부분이 있으신가요?
아니 한 대표님께서 너무 잘 말씀해 주셔가지고 저 뭐 사실은 전망하기는 너무 어려운 것 같은데 뭐 한중일 전 싱가포르도 거버넌스 분야에서는 굉장히 중요한 역할을 할 것 같고 저도 그 대표님 말씀에 정말 공감하는 게 이게 지금 오늘 사실 깊게 안 다룬 것이 거버넌스 논의에서의 진영학적인 경쟁이고 이게 사실은 그런 이제 소위 국가 간 체대 간 그 경쟁이 거버넌스 모든 논의의 밑바탕에 흐르는 그런 좀 텐션이기도 하고 요인이기 때문에 아마도 뭐 굉장히 흥미로운 10년이 되지 않을까 이렇게 생각합니다.
네, 감사합니다. 혹시 뭐 그 유상윤 대표님이나 신영길 그 선임 연구원님이 또 추가로 하실 말씀 있으신가요?
저는 다른 분들이 너무 잘 대답해 주신 것 같아서 따로 추가하지 않겠습니다.
네, 알겠습니다. 그리고 또 질문 하나가 있는데 이게 마지막 그 질문이 될 것 같은데 이것도 제가 여기 챗에다가 남겨드릴게요. 동아시아 지역 내 AI 안전 협력에서 한국이 가장 크게 기여할 수 있는 부분은 무엇이라고 보시나요? 이 부분도 아마
유 대표가 얘기하셔야 될 것 같은데.
네, 제가 얘기하겠습니다. 일단 이제 제 생각에 동아시아라고 봤을 때 한중일로 국한지어서 얘기하겠습니다. 그래서 한중일로 국한지어서 얘기했을 때 사실 중국은 굉장히 이제 미국과 텐션이 있고 또 이제 정치 체계적으로도 사실 또 우리나라가 가진 체제와 조금 다른 면도 있다 보니까 그래서 한국이 어떻게 보면은 가장 그러면서 AI 어둠션도 상대적으로 일본이나 이런 것들보다 한국이 더 빠르고 이런 부분들에 있어서 특히 AI 안전에 관해서만큼 한국이 좀 이끌어 나갈 수 있는 부분이 많이 있다고 보여집니다. 이게 중국에서 사실 나온 AI 안전 기준이나 이런 것들을 다른 나라들이 따르기는 굉장히 어려울 거고 제가 최근에 미국 출장 가서 많이 느낀 건데 미국에서 걱정하는 특히 이제 오픈소스 모델들에서 걱정하는 것 중 하나가 저 모델들에 들어있는 이제 중국의 그런 사상이나 정치 체제가 이제 자국민들에게 영향을 주지 않을까 이런 것들을 굉장히 걱정을 하기 때문에 그리고 그런 거에 있어서 기준을 잡아 나가는 것이 중국은 가장 성능이 좋은 모델을 만들지만 어려울 것이고 반대로 일본은 또 너무 이제 AI 도입이나 이런 것들이 한국에 비해서는 느린 면이 있기 때문에 그런 면에 있어서 AI 안전에서 한국이 좀 이점이 많이 서 있다고 느껴지고요. 또 실제로 이제 해외 기업들이나 글로벌 기업들도 한국에서 발생하는 그런 AI 사용 사례나 이런 것들에 주목을 많이 하기 때문에 안전에 대해서도 좀 한국이 나서서 얘기할 수 있지 않나 생각합니다.
네. Well, I think given the time constraint, we'll probably have to stop here. So thank you so much to all our distinguished panelists for sharing your thoughtful and nuanced and forward-looking perspectives this evening. A big thank you as well to everyone, both from Korea and joining from around the world for your questions and your attention, your engagement. I think today's discussion really highlights how much opportunity responsibility lies ahead for South Korea and the broader Asian region in terms of AI governance and its safety. On behalf of AI Safety Asia, AI Safety Lab, and Modul Lab, thank you for spending your evening with us. 오늘 굉장히 뜻깊고 통찰력 있는 의견들 나눠주신 패널 분들께 다시 한번 감사드리고요. 또 전 세계 그리고 특히 한국에서 조인해주신 청중들에게도 깊이 감사드립니다. 그 한국뿐만 아니라 더 이제 앞으로 넓은 아시아를 생각했을 때 AI governance랑 그 safety 관련해서 앞으로 더 기회가 뭔지 그리고 또 우리가 가져야 책임은 뭔지 좀 보게 될 기회가 되었으면 하는 바람입니다. 그래서 AI Safety 아시아 그리고 AI Safety Lab 그리고 모두의 연구소를 대표해서 오늘 저녁 시간을 함께 해주신 모든 분들께 감사드립니다. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.